Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And Happy New Year. Here we are into the first full work week we've had in 2 weeks. So everybody, you have 5 days you have to report to job today and just back to the normal work week. And glad to have you with us today. I'm Dave Adams. This is Valley Talk. Glad to have you with us today. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We have Johanna Spencer in the studio, and she's the director of 39 Steps. She's with Albany Civic Theatre. And Johanna, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Thank you for having me here.
So we're going to talk about 39 Steps and a little bit about what she does, a little bit about Albany Civic Theatre, if you want to get involved. They've got, what impresses me about ACT is they've got a number of productions. They've usually got one in the works, thinking of one, and they've usually got three that are in the mill in some kind of production.
Absolutely. We do more productions per year than any other community theater in the Valley, between 8 and 10 a year, which is quite a feat to handle.
That's a lot of work. I was with my daughter, and she was trying out for Man of La Mancha, and there's a lot of work to putting this on. You have the auditions, you have a lot of people that turn out, you've got the dance steps, and there's a lot of work to this, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah, set construction, technical, all kinds of things, and lots of volunteers are needed to do these shows. Okay, more about that in just a moment. Do want to invite you to sign up for our Quiznos Taste on Us. Make sure you send an email to dave@kgal.com, or you can call the station at 451-KGAL or 926-KGAL. Say you want to be put into the Quiznos Taste on Us giveaway. At the end of the show, we're going to give away a $10 gift certificate for the Albany Quiznos only, and that's good for anything in the store. Sandwiches, chips, drinks, whatever. Just get it in before the end of the show, and we'll hopefully pull your name out. And on the subject line of the email, just put Taste on Us. And thank you for listening to Valley Talk. Thank you to Dale and the crew at Quiznos in Albany for being a sponsor here of the program. Last half of the show, probably the last 20 minutes or so, we had kind of a scheduling, what do you want to call it? We were trying to get somebody in at the last minute to promote an event coming up very, very soon. Didn't make connections today. We'll hopefully have them on before their event. So we are going to be replaying a segment of the interview we had with the Salvation Army, with Maureen Lawliss when she was here in the studio not long ago, and revisit a portion of that. They're doing some great work and definitely want to support the Salvation Army. So that's coming up the last part of Valley Talk today. Johanna Spencer, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
She is a board secretary for Albany Civic Theatre, director of 39 Steps, an actress, I should say.
Yeah.
39 Steps, what is it?
The 39 Steps was originally a book by John Buchan in the early 20th century. It was sort of a model for all of the subsequent spy thrillers, such as 007. And it became very popular in England. Then in 1935, Alfred Hitchcock released his version of the 39 Steps, which was a mystery, one of his early mystery shows, and very popular in England and the United States at that time. And then this one is a more recent adaptation by Patrick Barlow, which puts sort of a Monty Python-esque spin on Alfred Hitchcock's version. It's pretty much the script of the film, word for word, but there's a lot of funny stuff added, and most of the characters are played by only 4 actors. So we've got hundreds of characters played by 4 people.
So you have to get some actors and actresses that are very adept at playing multiple parts at the same time. Are they multiple personalities, or how is this working?
No, but seriously, good actors, quality actors, experienced actors. I have 4 actors, and they play everything from our hero to our heroine to spies to villains to policemen, crowd scenes, marching bands, just you name it, they play it in this show.
Comedy, drama, combination of both?
A combination of both. I would say this leans definitely more toward the comedy end. It's very fun, family friendly, and it would be fun for high school, middle school kids, maybe even younger, because there's a lot of melodramatic action going on in this.
tongue-in-cheek, a lot of pratfalls?
Oh, yes. Oh, indeed. We work very hard on that. The set is going to be amazing. We're working real hard on getting that together. Just pieces fly in and out from everywhere. A little scene here, and then we're in somebody's house, and the next thing we're in a crowded theater, and a gunshot goes off, and somebody's killed, and the whole spy story starts with this sequential action. We've got a train sequence where there are heroes on a train being chased by the police, and then he falls from the fourth bridge, and it's very exciting, action-packed.
So was this the start of the 007 series, the Alfred Hitchcock
Well,
original?
I think that was probably inspired by this.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
39 steps. How does that... Is there 39 steps somewhere? Obviously, you're talking to somebody who hasn't read the book or watched the play before. What's the 39 steps
is really part of the mystery. What is the 39 steps? And our hero sets out to find out what that is, because he's given a little bit of information by this beautiful, mysterious spy at the beginning that he needs to go find the 39 steps. And then before he can get all the information from her, she is killed. So murdered on stage.
Alas.
So to be, yes.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah.
Is this probably isn't the first play you've directed?
No, this is the third one that I've directed at ACT. My first one was Nickel and Dimed several years ago, and last year I directed Beyond Therapy. And I assistant directed and stage managed and helped in several other productions there. 39
steps. What's different, challenging about this one?
I would say the most challenging thing has been that to try to incorporate all of this action in these tiny little scenes together into one big storyline. Also, a lot of the storyline depends on the lighting and the sound and the physical effects that we can come up with. And to try to get those into rehearsal just with our imagination was really difficult. And so now that we're on stage and trying to incorporate those things, it's a lot of work sort of at the end to make all the magic happen at the same time.
There are a lot of moving parts to this, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Is it the most challenging play you've directed so far?
Without a doubt. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Fun?
It's fun, yes. And it's been really enjoyable working with the actors who are very gung-ho to do this and very talented. So, I feel like this is one of the first shows that I haven't. Community theater, you get a lot of people who maybe just want to do this and they've never had a lot of experience. And these actors have had experience. And so it's nice to not have to teach people to act, but I spend most of my time just watching them invent new, funny stuff to do. And it's really fun to spend the time with them in rehearsals.
Well, first of all, let's talk about 39 steps. We'll talk about this. I've got a lot of questions about community civic theater here in a moment. Mm-hmm. But 39 steps, appropriate for young kids?
Yes, certainly appropriate. There's a couple of gunshots, but there's no language or really adult situations other than you'd see in the 1935 movie. So, definitely a G-rated...
Bring grandma, the kids.
Yeah, you can bring grandma and the kids, and the whole family will enjoy it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Civic theater. You mentioned ACT. Albany Civic Theatre is the most active here in the Mid-Willamette Valley.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What is it about civic theater that's a draw to people? And do you get... Let's ask that question first.
Well, I think that we have over 300 volunteers a year, and it's an all-volunteer theater, so nobody gets paid. We don't have any management or anything. We have a board of the Civic Theater, and then we have, the rest is really done just by volunteers, whether that's doing lighting or acting or working behind the scenes or administrative work or coming and ushering a show. I think for most people, it's really fun to come and sort of get involved and feel like, wow, I've got an extra family here. And people are real supportive and real encouraging for you to come back and try to do what you can contribute or what you're interested in creating there at Albany Civic.
Do you get people trying out for parts that have had no acting experience before and just want to give it a go?
Absolutely. This is the place to try it out. And in auditions, I've told actors before, you make my job tough because I can only cast 4 people and there was 20 people who tried out. But what I found is that most people, if they continue to come back and try out, even if they don't make it the first or second time, they'll usually get a part within a year or so if they're persistent and really want to do it and put a lot of effort into it.
Any diamonds in the rough? Do you notice anybody who tries out who may have never taken drama in high school or other and try out and they just have a knack for it? Do you have any?
Oh, certainly. I mean, there's the gamut. There's, some people have to work really hard to feel like, they're up to snuff. And other people, it just sort of comes naturally. And a lot of times it's a surprise to people what they can do when they get up there and just sort of let themselves go and maybe take a little bit of direction and look at other people and see what they're doing. And suddenly they find themselves, oh, I'm a star.
Okay, that's a good question. How do you handle the egos?
Well, that is a good question. I mean, obviously, we're all very creative, and so we're sort of used to dealing with each other on that level.
But the world does revolve around me, thank you very much.
Well, but also, I think when you get to working with a crew, it's pretty clear early on whether you can work with other people or not. And some people may have an ego, but most people look at it and go, this is a team effort. Mm-hmm. And once they get into the show or whatever it is they're working on, you sort of focus on your task and what you need to do. And everybody's so encouraging that egos sort of fall by the wayside. And, if there's a problem, we'll talk about it and we work it out. And overall, we don't have too much problem with that because it's really just a group and a team effort in the community.
What do you tell someone who has not even a slight amount of acting ability? And I'm sure you've run into this. Somebody is just bound and determined to be on lead role on a 39 Steps or whatever, and they absolutely, you cringe every time they get up on stage. What do you tell those people? I don't think so.
The truth is, maybe I'm just an optimist, but I found that most people are pretty aware of their abilities. But if they really want to act and they're consistent, I usually tell them, let's start with a small part and see how you do on that, and we can build from there. And, I've worked with a couple of people in the last year or so who have never acted before. They got on and were really surprised at how well they did. And they had a little small part, but by the time we'd rehearsed for 8 weeks, it was really something. And they were proud of what they did, and their wife and children were proud of what they did. And our whole theater has really encouraged people like this to continue being involved in our theater. Whether you can act, whether you can't act, a lot of it just depends on the amount of effort that you put into it.
What tips do you have for people to get over stage fright when they get up there and they see all the people, everybody's watching them, and they freeze? My
biggest tip is practice, practice, practice. Come to rehearsals, learn your lines, think about that. We do warm-ups, we do specific things on getting rid of tension, and usually by the time performances come around, you're used to doing this, and we've had people sitting out there watching and reacting and laughing at you. So, there's always a little bit of jitters, but even for experienced actors, but in most cases, it's over quite quickly when you get your first laugh or you go out there and are successful at what you're doing.
I was at the auditions. I didn't try out, but my daughter was trying out for Man of La Mancha. And I was amazed at, obviously they're all competing to be on the play, but there's still a feeling of camaraderie, attaboy, good spirits. Anybody get their feelings crushed or hurt?
That's right. I'm sure there are cases, but in general, Albany Civic Theatre is very affirming, and we try to create an atmosphere of including people the best that we can and using their abilities to create these productions.
Why are you guys so busy? You mentioned you're one of the busiest community theater here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. You're doing, what, 8?
Yeah, and this is our 62nd season, so we've been doing this for 62 years. Part of the reason that we are busy is because we own our own building, and our mission is to do theater for the community and by the community. And because of that mission statement, we really don't have a choice other than to keep the theater going every month, to keep the revenue coming in order to pay our own bills. Right now we have some issues with heating that we've been sort of piecemealing, but eventually we're going to need some big donations to get that going.
I've noticed. It was kind of chilly in there the other night.
Right.
We went to the play the other day. What was
Rebecca.
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. It was amazing to me, the young actress in Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. Very heartwarming play, very great message in it. Mm-hmm. She had a lot of lines, and she did a very, very good job. She
did. That's sort of Rebecca is an outcrop of our youth thespian theater. We've always tried to promote having a youth program, or a program that created productions specifically for young people. And most recently, Diane Allen and Miranda Keeling have been spearheading our youth thespian program. And so Rebecca was submitted by Diane Allen and Miranda Keeling specifically to include, to provide a play for families, but to include younger members of our thespian community.
39 Steps, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. Just some examples of what you've done at Albany Civic Theatre. Who decides what the plays you're going to do?
We have a play reading committee, and every year about this time they get together. Directors submit plays to be considered by our play reading committee, and they all read them, make some decisions. We've got lots of guidelines for what kind of a season we want. We like to include musicals, dramas, comedies, stuff that would appeal to the community at large. And then by April, our membership will vote on a season for the upcoming year.
We're talking to Johanna Spencer, who is the board secretary for Albany Civic Theatre and director of 39 Steps. 39 Steps is performed starting January 18th for 3 weekends. Mm-hmm. What's the cost to attend?
It is $11 for general admission and $8 for juniors and seniors, so people under 18 or over 60. You can get tickets at Sid Stevens Jewelers. You can reserve them there or purchase them there now, or Wine Styles in Corvallis. That's a new venue for us. Or 45 minutes before the curtain time, you can stop by our box office at ACT, and there are usually tickets available at that time too.
More with Johanna Spencer and 39 Steps in Albany Civic Theatre when Valley Talk continues in just a moment.
When you look out across the Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. Willamette Community Bank is here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, this is Sue Kalina, Relationship Manager. Willamette Community Bank provides an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that?
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Take the first step. You know you can go at least that far, and quickly discover the next step is within your reach. And the next step, join the Y for free now through January 15th. It only takes one small change to make a difference. It takes 21 days to create a habit, so start today. No joining fee now through January 15th at the Mid-Valley YMCA, 3311 Pacific Boulevard, Southwest in Albany. Call now, 541-926-4488. 541-926-4488. Online at ymcaalbany.org.
Lewis Seed Company and Shed is taking this moment to call your attention to the fact that in times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment, patriotism, sacrifice, and courage keep our country safe and strong. They appreciate the bravery of our U.S. soldiers. Let's honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This special reminder from Lewis Seed Company and Shed, on the air because they care.
The famous Monterey Jazz Festival is coming to Eugene. World-renowned for its artistic excellence, sophisticated informality, and support of jazz education, the Monterey Jazz Festival is mounting its third North American tour, featuring critically acclaimed Grammy-winning jazz artists Dee Dee Bridgewater on vocals, Christian McBride, bassist and musical director, pianist Benny Green, drummer Louis Nash, Chris Potter on saxophone, and more.
Lovers in flight, upwards they fly.
One performance only in Eugene at the Holt Center this Friday at 7:30 p.m. 60% discount for middle and high school students, so bring the whole family. For tickets and more information, contact the Shed Ticket Office, 541-434-7000. That's 541-434-7000.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Save on Haas avocados, 2 for $1. Save up to 98 cents on 2. Save up to 50% off on Naturalist vitamin supplements with circular coupon. And save on Swift Slow Cooker Pork Hot Roast, only $2.19 per pound. See store for details. And remember, Senior Day now at Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Science and Common Sense. Dr. Bill Wattenberg will surprise you Sunday nights live on Smart Talk 1580.
This is Valley Talk and 11:27 the time. A very good morning. Thank you for being with us on the show today. It is Monday, the first 5-day work week we've had in, this is the third week now. We had kind of a shortened work week last week and the week before. Hope you had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year, and your New Year's is going well in 2013. Hope you're making more money this year. Hope you're off to a good start. One of the ways you can get your year off to a good start is sign up for Quiznos Taste on Us at the end of the year. At the end of this show, we're going to be drawing for a $10 gift certificate from Quiznos in Albany. Thanks to Dale and the crew for participating in Valley Talk. You can sign up by sending me an email, dave@kgal.com, or calling the station at 926-KGAL or 451-KGAL, and put Quiznos Taste on Us on the subject line. And if you're really lucky, we'll draw your name at the end of the show and give you a $10 gift certificate. It's Taste on Us from Quiznos in Albany and KGAL's Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. In the studio, Johanna Spencer, Board Secretary, Director of 39 Steps, which starts January 18th for 3 weekends. She's been with Albany Civic Theatre since 1986. This is her third directorship.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What pushes your button? Why do you like to be involved in ACT?
Well, I've been acting since I was about 7, and so that's more than 40 years. I really enjoyed it in high school and middle school, and in college I decided that's what I wanted to do, so I majored in theater. I've done a little bit of professional stuff in my mid-20s, but then decided to settle down and have a family and got a real job. So I've really enjoyed having the creative outlet of community theater to do in my spare time.
Why is drama important, specifically community theater? Some of the critics might say, well, it's extra energy, people take time off work, it's just not worth it. What would you say to the critics?
Well, I would say, for the people who are involved in creating it, it's definitely something that they may not get. It may give them an opportunity to have that creative outlet that they may not get at their day-to-day lives or in their day-to-day work. But also for the community, I know so many people. We have thousands of patrons a year who just really say how much they enjoy the shows. They enjoy the outlet. They enjoy getting out instead of sitting in front of the television. They may enjoy even, coming to see someone in a show, a family member or a friend, and it just feels sort of important, like, you're going to see the stars, I think, sometimes. But also, people just express that, they just love the theater, and they do quality productions at Albany Civic Theatre, too.
For both the performers and the audience, is some things like Albany Civic Theatre, community theater, important for stress relieving and just kind of divert our attention when there's so many stressors out there?
Well, absolutely. Not only just stress relief, but I think, in the case of some important dramas and that may bring a message to our hearts that opens our eyes towards a certain situation or something. and some of the old staples, some Shakespeare, maybe some Tennessee Williams, something that you don't get an opportunity to be exposed to in your day-to-day life, but in our culture is very important and has important messages for us all.
Civic theater important in preserving culture?
Absolutely. You know, I think that's probably one of the things we do. You just don't see the kind of stuff we do at Albany Civic Theatre. You don't see it on television that much. Maybe public broadcasting a little bit, but certainly not in the movies these days.
Do you like playing the good guy or the bad guy? The good gal or the bad gal?
Well, you know...
Are you the villain or the heroine?
I like both of those. I tend to get cast in comedic roles, and I think that's probably my personal forte, and the thing that I enjoy the most. Something I did recently was I played a witch in The Weird Sisters, and she was great fun. She was drunk and profane, but a lot of fun, and people who are familiar with Terry Pratchett's books came and really enjoyed watching that rendition of The Weird Sisters.
So you played you played a drunk, profane witch.
Right, exactly.
Did you have fun doing that?
Oh, yes, it was loads of fun. Definitely out of my normal day-to-day life. I don't drink, and I'm not a witch, and I'm never profane, so it was really fun to just do something that was not me for a short period of time.
Was it comfortable to do something that's so out of your box?
For me, it was. It's fun. I just enjoy, exploring, well, what would someone else do in this situation? What would they be like? What would their take on this be?
Does the audience really get into those weird, wacky, offbeat characters?
Some audiences do, yeah. Like I said, The Weird Sisters had great audiences, and it was very, it was sort of a cult following of people who know about the books. I am hoping that the 39 Steps will be similar, because we've got lots of sort of weird, wacky characters. Our hero, played by Michael Winder, is Richard Hannay, and he's sort of an early 007 character. And then,
shaken, not stirred.
Right. Yes, very much. He's a Scotch drinker, but... and then we have a woman, Julia Beasley, who plays three women. She plays a spy, Annabella Schmidt, and a Scottish... crofter's wife, Margaret, and then Pamela, who is our heroine. And then we have two, we call them clowns, played by Charles Skinner and Nancy Homan, and they play a multitude of characters, beginning with some performers, Mr. Memory and the Compere at the London Palladium, and going through to one of them is a villain, and the other one is the wife of the Hotel McGettigle. They just play a multitude of characters.
Now let's talk about the artists that have to play several characters. Do they play them on stage at once? Do they shift on stage, or do they come off stage and come back on?
They shift on stage. We have one point where two people play 7 characters within 5 minutes.
That has got to be hard to do. How do you stay in character, and how do you keep from playing the wrong character at the wrong time?
Lots of practice. And hats. Hats help if you change your hat.
It's kind of like driving in New Zealand, or driving in a city where you're driving on the other side of the road, left side of the road. The steering wheel's on the other side of the car. Yeah. So it's a big clue.
Yeah. Well, and funny you should mention that, because we actually talk about that, or that actually happens in this show, where we realize the steering wheel is on the wrong side of the car, so we change it. But it is sort of a thing where you have to train your brain through rehearsals to play these characters, different accents with right back to back, and they switch back and forth, different characters, different genders. One person will play two different, a male and a female right back to back. It's very funny.
Very funny, very complicated. So you got different accents, different characters, different genders.
Right.
And it's a male or female doing it. I'm got to see this just to see the person do that. That takes some talent right there.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. 39 Steps. What do you want people to walk away? Is it make you feel good? entertained?
Absolutely. I want them to be entertained. I expect that they'll walk away chuckling 3 days later at stuff that happened during this show. It's just a big romp and a interesting storyline from front to finish, and lots of surprises during this show to keep people interested.
Tickets where again, and what are the dates for 39 Steps?
So it opens January 18th and plays for 3 weekends through February 2nd. And you can get tickets at Sid Stevens Jewelers in Albany or Wine Styles in Corvallis.
Johanna Spencer, Board Secretary for Albany Civic Theatre, Director of 39 Steps, your third work. Do you think this will be your best?
I think it will. I'm hoping it will be.
And you've been involved since 1986. Plan to keep on going?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm there for the duration.
What does Albany Civic Theatre need now? Obviously, if somebody is so inclined and they're an HVAC person and you're listening to the show, boy, they could use some help in their heating plant.
Absolutely. We've got some heating issues that need to be addressed. Typically, just the upkeep of the building is a lot of work. We have a facilities manager, Mr. John Sams, right now, who I'm sure could give us a list of things that need either money or just somebody who knows what they're doing, who's willing to volunteer their time. We've had, over the past couple of years, an electrician who's been real dedicated at coming and sort of rewiring some of the stuff that we have done, but we still need more of that done to increase our lighting capacity, because for lighting the shows, we need lots of lighting instruments, and they each take dedicated electric lines to do so.
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm was an excellent, great message, wonderful play, had a great time, enjoyed it. That was the first play I've seen from ACT. Look forward to seeing more, and thank you for all you do. It's just amazing to me that you do 8 to 10 productions. So I was looking at your schedule, and you've got 3 productions in the queue at any one time in different stages of either performing, casting, or rehearsal. That is keeping a lot of balls in the air.
It is, yes. We're very busy over there.
How do people contact you if they'd like to either donate, get involved, volunteer?
Sure. Well, you can
send you $1 million
on our website at www.albanycivic.org, and there's buttons to donate on there, or you can contact one of the board members just by calling the theater. Our phone number is there on our website, or just come down. Come see a show, talk to our volunteer managers or our house managers that are there, and get involved.
Johanna Spencer, thank you for all you do at Albany Civic Theatre, and looking forward to 39 Steps. It starts January 18th. She's the director, and thank you for being with us on Valley Talk. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you very much.
And when Valley Talk continues, we're going to revisit a previous interview we had with Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss of the Salvation Army. They do an amazing work here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. We initially were trying to get another guest on the show to talk about an event coming up very, very soon. We tried to squeeze them into the schedule. It just didn't happen. So we are going to be replaying this segment with the Salvation Army here on Valley Talk when we continue in just a moment. Don't forget to sign up for the Quiznos Taste on Us. Dave at KGAL.com is the email address, or you can call the station at 926-KGAL or 451-KGAL and say you want Taste on Us from Quiznos, and a $10 gift certificate could be yours, and you can use that for anything in the store. Albany store of Quiznos only. And thanks to Dale and the crew for being a part of Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams, and the show will, as Johanna Spencer would say, the show must go on.
Indeed.
The show will go on here in just a moment. Thank you. Be right back.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Regis. Get intentional about your business success with a prestigious furnished office from Regis. Get started with 2 months free. Call 1-800-OFFICES. This is Charles Osgood. Remember the British movie The Man in the White Suit with Alec Guinness? Well, a couple of British scientists, a former fashion designer turned college professor, Helen Story, and chemistry professor Tony Ryan of the University of Sheffield, have teamed up to produce a pollution-busting laundry detergent additive they call Cat Clo. After one washing with Cat Clo, a pair of jeans will not only ward off dirt, they say, but also clean up the air around them. Professor Story.
I've been wearing these jeans for about 2 years, and so far there's been no detrimental effect to the process, either of the handle of it or the wear or the color of it.
The story after this. Businesses, from startups to Fortune 500 firms, share something in common. They're intentional. They focus on success, and they don't get distracted. Many successful businesses have something else in common. They choose to work from a Regis office. Your beautifully furnished, wired Regis office can be ready when you need it. You get a prestigious address with state-of-the-art amenities. You know what else is included? A receptionist to answer your phones and greet your clients, access to meeting rooms, video conferencing studios, and IT pros to solve tech problems. Getting intentional about your business starts with Regis. One quick call, and Regis will show you how much money you can save with a custom workspace solution for your company. Get started now with 2 months free. Just go to regus.com/Osgood. That's regus.com/Osgood. Or call 1-800-OFFICES and tell them Osgood sent you. That's 1-800-OFFICES. Cat Clo contains nanoparticles of titanium. Here's what Professor Tony Ryan says he came up with the idea.
I sat down and calculated the surface area of my suit in this really boring meeting I had to go to. And when I came back, I had the answer of how we could use low-grade energy. We'd turn people into catalyst supports so that they were covered in catalyst and could wander around using light and the surface of their clothes to clean up.
In the Guinness movie, when he invents a suit that stays white and clean and unwrinkled permanently, the whole world turns on him. But Ryan and Story don't even want to patent their process. The cleaning up they want to do is to help clean up the world. Are there questions? Of course there are.
So the regular questions are, am I absorbing dirt? Am I walking around getting dirtier? And we know from market research that customers don't want to buy self-cleaning clothes because they want to wash them, they want to feel clean. And the answer is no, the pollution's just kind of passing you by. But when it comes into contact with you, you neutralize it.
They both think Cat Clo might come to market in a year or two at the worst. But the market, in fact, may overreact. Try to neutralize both of them first. The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
You depend on your car and you depend on your mechanic to keep that car running right. Depend on Waukoma Auto and Radiator Service. Over 70 years of combined experience repairing and servicing all late model cars. ASE certified master technicians Chuck, Bill, and Wally are TechNet professionals, offering the latest computer diagnostics, affordable rates, and a nationwide warranty on all parts. Waukoma Auto and Radiator Repairs in Corvallis on Cornell, just off 9th Street down from the Goodwill. You can depend on Waukoma.
Quietus contains homeopathic ingredients traditionally used to provide relief.
Can you hear that sound? That ringing, that hissing.
I can't get to sleep with it.
I can't concentrate. I hear it constantly. Everywhere I go, it doesn't go away. It drives me nuts.
It's tinnitus. A constant ringing in your ear caused by loud machines.
Loud music.
Ah, finally. Quietus.
I love Quietus.
I couldn't believe it. No more ringing in the ears. No more hissing sound. Quiet relief so I can work.
No more ringing. No more loud fans.
And I sleep like a baby.
If you're suffering from tinnitus, I urge you to try Quietus.
After trying Quietus, the ringing stopped, and I felt like I got my life back.
Quietus is real, my friend.
Quietus has changed my life.
Call right now for your risk-free trial of Quietus at 1-800-860-8517. That's 1-800-860-8517. Stop the ringing now. 1-800-860-8517. That's 1-800-860-8517.
The Morning Update, weekday mornings on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Welcome to Valley Talk on this Monday. I'm Dave Adams. Glad to have you with us. We're going to be talking, we're going to be replaying a segment that we had with the Albany Salvation Army, Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss here in just a moment. But while we had some time, we wanted to talk to good friend Marie Dodds, Director of Government and Public Affairs for AAA Oregon. We usually talk to her about gas prices. We'll be doing that maybe later on this week or later on. But where are people going? What are the travel trends and tips for 2013? And Marie, glad to have you with us on Valley Talk.
Hey, Dave. Glad to be with you, and Happy New Year.
So Happy New Year to you, too. I guess the big trip's coming back.
It sure is. You know, for a few years there, we were talking about the staycation. And let me tell you, everybody is sick and tired of the staycation. So big trips are making a comeback. And in fact, in all of 2012, we saw travel numbers back to pre-recession levels, and 2013 is starting out the same way. And people are always looking for something new, something a bit different. And some of the hot destinations, if you're looking for going on that big trip, include the South American countries of Peru and Ecuador, Southeast Asia is also emerging as a very popular region, including Vietnam and Cambodia, Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. And then river cruising is also hot. And for a while, when we talked about river cruising, people automatically thought about Europe. And certainly river cruising is very popular in Europe. But now it is expanding into other markets as well, including parts of Southeast Asia, including Vietnam, Cambodia, China. And then if you're looking for another hot destination and a big trip, India continues to move up as a top bucket list item for many travelers.
Interesting. Vietnam, are those Vietnam era veterans going back, or just anyone?
A little bit of everything. We are seeing probably a good share of Vietnam War veterans going back to that country, and obviously on much more pleasant terms this time. But Southeast Asia in general is really turning out to be a very hot destination. People want to go there. You know, instead of just reading about it online or looking at a colorful brochure, people want to go and experience these countries firsthand.
Speaking of favorite destinations, Ireland and England are tops.
They sure are. And of course, this year, 2013, there's a year-long celebration in Ireland called The Gathering Ireland, and it's a celebration of all things Irish. And you know how people on St. Patrick's Day like to say, hey, everybody's Irish today? Well, in 2013, everybody can be Irish for the entire year thanks to this special event, The Gathering Ireland. They have events, festivals, sporting events, concerts, music, basically anything and everything that showcases Irish culture and traditions. And so this is really a fun thing for people who have Irish heritage or just want to be Irish at some point during the year. And no matter what village or town or city you visit in Ireland, you can take in something with Gathering Ireland.
Just love the wearing of the green.
Exactly, the wearing of the green. And of course, with England, we all had a front and center show with England for the 2012 Summer Olympic Games. And of course, England got a lot of media coverage, a lot of attention. Besides that, there's always interest in the royal family with William and Kate. And of course, the PBS show Downton Abbey. And we are seeing so many people wanting to go to England for these reasons, either because they saw coverage during the Olympics or because they're fans of the show Downton Abbey and they want to go to Great Britain. And so that's another really, really hot travel destination this year.
But North America also continues to be hot.
It sure does, and it is interesting. Every year we kind of see a few areas that emerge as the hot trends, and for 2013, Western U.S. national parks are really, really big, anywhere from Yellowstone to some of the many other beautiful national parks that we have, Yosemite, you know, in the western half of the country. We are seeing these parks attract record numbers, and that is going to continue this year. And so we've got a lot more tour companies now offering packages to the U.S. Western National Parks. The other big top destination in North America, of all things, is Eastern Canada. And for a lot of folks, maybe they want to feel more European. They want to go somewhere where English is not necessarily the first language, and then maybe they don't want to travel as far as Europe. So Eastern Canada is very appealing, and there are a lot of popular Canada and New England cruises, also to accommodate demand for travel in this region.
So Vancouver, like Vancouver, British Columbia, they're enlarging their staycation travel circle just a bit.
Yeah, and by Eastern Canada, I'm talking about Quebec, Montreal, that part of Canada. But, you know, for those of us here in the West, I mean, Vancouver and Victoria are always popular, and they will continue to be so. But when we look at the U.S. as a whole, Eastern Canada, very, very popular destination. And the other big popular place, of course, we always talk about how popular Disneyland is. And this year there's a new reason to go if you haven't been. There's a new 12-acre spread as part of the California Adventure Park for the movie Cars Land. They bring the town of Radiator Springs to life. It opened this past summer, and this has been a huge draw, both for first-time and repeat Disneyland travelers. So if it's been a while since you've been to the Magic Kingdom down south, you might want to think about taking the family, or even just adults, down to Disneyland and checking out Cars Land.
Tips for travelers, we'll leave with that. What would we have for the folks?
First of all, we are seeing a return to the use of travel agents. For a while, everybody wanted to book their own trip and research it online. But you know what? You find that it takes hours and hours and hours to do that. And then once you book it, how do you know that that hotel or that tour is everything that it's promised to be? So we are seeing more and more travelers coming full circle and once again using travel agents. And a lot of folks think, if I use a travel professional, it's going to cost me more. Well, not necessarily. In fact, it's possible that you'll actually pay less than if you were to book a vacation yourself, because a good travel agent has been there, done that. They know the ins and outs, and a lot of times they have access to exclusive deals that are only available if you book through a travel agent. So that's one thing. And of course, this year, more than ever, we are seeing all kinds of gadgets and gizmos for smartphones and tablets. And here at AAA, of course, we got a lot of those. You can now download your e-tour book guides, your maps. All of that can be on your smartphone or tablet. But one travel tip to keep in mind is that, especially if you are traveling outside of the U.S., sometimes you will rack up really hefty fees for accessing data at international rates. So you want to check your plan before you go. And also you want to carry that backup paper map or tour book just in case, because you never know if and when Wi-Fi is available and how much it's going to cost you when you're outside of the U.S.
Good tips. Marie Dodd of AAA in Oregon. Looking forward to talking to you in the future about gas prices. It looks like gas prices are heading up a little bit. I know you haven't done the research this morning. You've been putting this together. So we'll be talking to you in the future about what it looks like gas prices are doing. Thank you for visiting with us. Have a happy new year and look forward to 2013.
Thanks, Dave. Bon voyage.
Okay, bon voyage. This is Valley Talk, and when we come back, we will have that segment with the Salvation Army, Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss. Be right back here on Valley Talk.
From now till January 7th, Lassen Toyota is helping make your holiday wishes come true. Santa's helpers have been busy repricing Lassen's cars and trucks to the right price, and you can cash in on all the holiday cheer. For example, save $2,750 off the MSRP on all in-stock new 2013 Toyota Tundras and Venzas. If your holiday shopping list includes a new 2013 Corolla, you can choose between financing at 0% for up to 60 months or $500 cash back from TFS. And you also get 2 years or 25,000 miles of Toyota Care included at no extra charge with any new Toyota lease or purchase. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it only lasts between now and January 7th at Lassen Toyota, located just a quarter mile east of I-5 on Highway 20 in Albany. Special financing in lieu of rebates on approved credit through TFS. License, title, and dock fees extra. Customer must take delivery before 1/7/2013. Complete details online at lassenauto.com.
It's a crab feed!
The Greater Albany Rotary Club presents for your enjoyment and as a fundraiser for the club's local and international service projects, the annual Crab Fest. Saturday, February 2nd from noon to 8. Get a generous portion of fresh Dungeness crab with bread and side dishes and enjoy live musical entertainment. You'll be automatically entered in the drawings for some great prizes. Pre-sale tickets are $40 and are available from Greater Albany Rotarians, Albany Chamber of Commerce, the KGAL K-Show Main Studios in Lebanon, and Calapooya Brewing Company in Albany. The annual Crab Fest, Saturday, February 2nd from noon to 8. Support your community and enjoy the fun and feasting at the annual Rotary Crab Fest, Saturday, February 2nd from noon to 8 at the atrium at Calapooya Brewing Company, Hill and Water in Albany.
It's a crab feed!
Here in the Mid-Willamette Valley, most farmers and ranchers cherish their horses. But when a horse becomes neglected and unwanted, the Linn County Animal Rescue steps up to help. Their mission is to provide a safe and nurturing environment for abused, abandoned, neglected, and elderly horses. Operated solely by volunteers, they are a nonprofit rescue and horse sanctuary. To find out more on how you can help Linn County Animal Rescue, call 541-258-3422 or visit their website, lcarhorse.org.
A good web page is a must sales tool for today's businesses. Sandy M Communications will put together an efficient, thorough web page that is right for your business. Sandy M Communications knows how to bring customers to your door and your phone. Call them at 541-223-7444. Put Sandy M Communications to work for you. Call them at 541-223-7444 or visit sandymcommunications.com.
Less hype, just quality news, sports, and smart talk. From your friends at 1580 KGAL.
Valley Talk, Dave Adams with you. Well, we have a few minutes left to go in the show. We want to repeat a segment from December 31st. We talked to Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss of the Salvation Army about some of the good work they do. And here's what she had to say.
You're certainly welcome. Thank you.
And thank you for all you do with the Salvation Army and all the kettle ringers did. We're going to be talking about them and how successful it was this last Christmas season.
Right.
They're not out ringing kettles now, are they?
No. We generally have most stores have a national agreement that we kettle or we ring at the kettles for until the 24th. So, and that's essentially, we're finished at that point.
Okay, we'll be talking to Maureen here in just a moment. Do want to remind you that you can today sign up for the Quiznos Taste on Us giveaway. Every show, we give away a $10 gift certificate for Quiznos in Albany. It's for a $10 gift certificate. You can take it to anything in the store. Some sandwiches, cookies, drinks, chips, whatever you want. Take your buddy in there, and the lunch is on us, taste on us. And how you sign up is you just simply send me an email at dave@kgal.com or call the station at 451-KGAL or 926-KGAL and say you want to be put into the Quiznos Taste on Us drawing. At the end of the show today, we'll be drawing out, hopefully, your name, and you will get an email or a phone call from us saying that congratulations, you won Quiznos Taste on Us. And you need to sign up before noon, which is at the end of the show and when we draw the name. So thanks to Dale and the crew for being involved in Valley Talk here on KGAL and sponsoring the program, and Taste on Us from Quiznos and Valley Talk and KGAL Radio. The Salvation Army, the topic of the show today. Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss with us. And how did the kettle ringing campaign go this year in the Mid-Willamette Valley?
Well, in Lynn and Benton County, we made about a gross amount of money, about $103,000 plus, which was about even from last year. And so I think we netted around $67,000, which will go pretty much supports our budget for the year.
So compared to last year, it was pretty flat. It was comparative to last year.
I think we gained some because we used a temporary service to hire some of the bell ringers last year, and that was, I think, it was more expensive than hiring our own. So we kind of came out on top this year because we didn't pay that much more.
But despite a lot of people are under financial hardship right now, a lot of people are distressed financially. The fact that you're able to keep par with last year is, I think, a very good showing, isn't it?
Yes, I'm very encouraged with it. I believe that these people here in Albany and in Corvallis area, in Lebanon as well, show a great deal of generosity. I mean, we counted the kettles every night, and it's remarkable to see how they were just willing to give so much in times like these, and just a few pennies here and there made a huge difference.
Now, you say it changed this year in the kettle campaign was that you had volunteers and you encouraged companies to come forth and ring the kettles instead of hiring temporary workers.
Yes, we had a good deal of people that came forward. There were individuals, there were companies, there were groups that want to, and some of them do it every year, that want to support our campaign. And what happens is that with the volunteers, we get pure income for the whole day. The whole kettle is profit, and so we don't have to pay an employee for that day. The other thing is the people. The companies, some of the people, in fact, National Frozen Foods did about, I think, 3 days for us this year, 3 or 4. And they were number 2 in the volunteers that gained some income for us.
Lieutenant Maureen Lawliss with the Salvation Army. The whole interview is on, the entire interview is on our website, kgal.com, as well as many of the previous Valley Talk shows we've done. Tomorrow, it's tax time. We're going to do this twice a month up until tax season. Robert White, he's an enrolled agent, licensed tax consultant with H&R Block. He will be in the studio for the full hour tomorrow. Email your tax questions to me, dave@kgal.com. That's tomorrow on Valley Talk. Have a great Monday and a happy 2013.
Your first choice in local news, sports, and smart talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.